ex-military analyst, come retired, happy-go-lucky chap who just wants to live his life, right? That's
That's it.
literally it. Yeah, welcome back, man. Great response because the public have obviously watched the interviews. We've had three or four now, or this is the fourth, and
Right.
they've absolutely like, well, almost complaining about the fact that I've not got you on the show enough, and we've done quite a lot in the last week. So that's a good
Right.
response, right? That's positive.
That's good. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
being here. I love being here. It's fun. You
good.
know, I enjoy
Good.
and I want to help. So you're the same kind of guy I am. Let's do this, man.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
somebody's got to do this.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. And before we get into the capabilities and the craft and all that stuff, um, I was talking to Robert last night and this morning just over email. This is Dr. Shipe over in LA, and
Okay.
he recognized these objects when the military pulled up outside the marina. And they were there for 2 weeks straight, helicopters coming in, boats coming in. And he wondered after 2 weeks what was going on. So he started filming, right? And he started capturing these objects. I'll pull them up on the screen now. And
Okay.
here we are, 8 years later. You know, I've started a channel. I got into contact with Robert last year. We've been working together to try and solve what the hell is going on. And we've since found out they're coming out of the ocean, they're coming out of the ground, they're crossing the roads, crossing the trees in our houses, they're everywhere. And when I found this out, this is when we was like trying to put our heads together, right? And the emails started flowing. We started capturing the bigger objects, sources, and stuff like that. And so, contacting the desert next year. This
Yeah.
comes back to my point of what we was talking about this morning. Robert wants to fund me to go out to America to go to contact in the desert. And it's kind of turned from like a 4 day thing to potentially like a 7 day thing. Like I want to get out there and meet some of the people that have been sending in the evidence, have a look at their areas as well. And hopefully, like we've had a chat, hopefully you can come along. I'll talk to you about it after the interview. But in a nutshell, we're trying to come together and we're trying to work out what these things are, where they're from. And I think this next interview we're doing now is really, really important because now we're going to go into the public's evidence in which we have an abundance of, and you're going to help me analyze it.
Yeah.
I mean, in a nutshell, isn't that what we need to like to do collectively for everyone to be able to have their say or chip in? Um, Record the skies, the same message we've been sending for a few weeks now.
Right. My thing is like I'm gonna go do here because I have such an obscured view with all the huge oak trees you saw on my property. I'm going to go get one of those game cameras, hunter cameras, motion activated hunter camera. Everybody out there can do this. They used to be like 140 bucks. They're like 60 bucks in America now for a decent one. All you got to do is set it up outside. It won't go off unless something triggers it. So you don't have to worry about your SD card being overloaded or a
Mm.
whole lot of things to review. But it does not hurt to use that every night. And if you catch something one time in a month, bingo. One, it's all it takes is one, guys. And if we all do this, we all get these trail cam. You can get them on Amazon, I think, really cheap, actually.
Yeah,
And we check them out. Just you do nothing anyway. You're going to bed, you're going to sleep. You might as well have eyes on the sky while you're cruising into bed, right? I'm telling you, if we all do this, we are going to be amazed how much evidence we have. And you cannot argue with people when they pull a trail camera and put it in and show you what they caught on it. You're not manipulating it, right?
mhm.
That's my advice to everybody. If you can't just sit there all night with your cell phone, get a trail camera and aim it at the sky. I don't care if you get a piece of wood and you lean it in your yard and you strap it around it, point it to where you think you might catch something. And I think you'll be surprised on what you catch.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm going to just again show a photo now. Well, where I just went to Wales and met my friend Karen and her family, and we need more scenes like this with people of all ages and all generations lined up, cameras in the skies, and we captured that night, and that's all it took was just a little bit of effort and a bit of belief, and we captured. So that's what we encourage, folks. But yeah, we're going to get into capability today. We're going to look at some of the public's evidence that I feel we can analyze fairly easy. They're really quite clear captures, and it's the
Okay.
stuff that's coming in every single day. So I'm going to share this screen with you, Eddie.
Sorry, buddy. I'm a coffee freak.
No, same here, mate. That's why we get on really well. Can you see my screen? Can you see the media player?
Yeah, I can see it.
Awesome stuff. So,
Let me
I've
get my
labeled it.
glasses because I'm old.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
folks. It's okay, folks. You can rely on the old ones. We're not all that bad. Um, so this was taken from by Andrew Edgley over in Santip Pod or Santa Pod Racetrack. Okay, 5th of July 2025. So quite recent.
Yeah.
There we are.
It's been staggering. Big shout out to Rob for building us a new wheel. Big shout
Oh,
out.
my, my. Very, very nice. Very nice.
It's so
That's nice.
yeah, it's so quick, right?
It's quick. It's about 2 feet around, it looks like, at the distance. We're judging that pole, that building, and it's in between. It's about a 2 to 3 foot size object.
Yeah, I mean it comes in front of this post as well, so it definitely is this side of the post.
Yeah. Okay. So it's
Um,
about 2 feet then.
yeah, but it's still it's probably closer to the post than the cameraman, I would say. And you can see whatever this is, this I call
Yeah.
it plasma jet. It seems to be coming out from the front of the vehicle as well as all other
You got an
sides. So,
appendage there, don't we?
yeah, it's
That's really quick. So we know we're over 100 miles an hour at that point.
yeah, this is slowed by to 10% of the original speed.
And you notice the thing that's sticking out of it spins around it. So
Yeah,
that to me would indicate we've got the drone, because this is a drone. And whatever's spinning around it is reading the area like a LiDAR. I believe personally. I've seen this before in bigger craft where the thing spins and we knew it was like scanning. I think it's scanning. And what they can do, they can count the number of people there so they know what they've got in an area. And I don't know if this is recon. And now we were talking about this earlier.
yeah,
What are they scanning us for? Why are they're counting our numbers?
yeah,
I think this is a number counter. How many people here, congregation? What is the end game? I'm not saying they're here to harm us, but as an analyst, you have to look at both sides of the picture here, right?
sure.
A, they're just benevolent beings and they're here to see how we're advancing. B, they're counting our numbers and figuring out how easy it's going to be to take over. Not saying that's what's happening because I don't know, you don't know, but we have to play devil's advocate, right? They're counting us. That tells me they're counting us. It's like a LiDAR, it's scanning everything. And if we do that, they are so much more advanced than we are.
Oh, yeah, they must know everything already. Everything already. It's.
What what does that look like to you? Does that look like it's a scanning mod? Because that's what it looks like to me.
I mean, it's either they're scanning everything around them, which I think is probably a given.
Mm-hmm.
They also could be sending out signals to other craft as well. And I don't
But
know what
then
that would look like.
I wonder if anybody reported feeling weird, thinking weird. You know what I mean? If it was projection of thought or energy to change moods, like we talked about, that they can do.
Yeah,
And we don't have anything to go with that. Nobody's reported anything, so we can only assume. Well, let's do this the way we do it professionally. That is an anomalous object,
yeah,
right? That is not a man-made drone. You can tell by the shape. There's no propulsion system whatsoever. No fans, no rotors, there's no blades. There's nothing, right? People didn't hear it at all. So it was silent. It's going over 100 miles an hour easily without being detected. Nobody could see it. So does it have partial cloaking on? Whatever it's doing there is so undetectable, and he's luckily captured it. This is it right here, huh? This is what
this is it.
I didn't know that was in the video. So you got the appendage in the front, and then you got this weird shark fin at the top. It is attached. It's partially cloaked, or it's crystal colored. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's what's spinning around. So
right.
that, and the tip of it is dark, which tells me it's got electronics in it because it's not see-through. That could all be a fiber optic fin feeding into this drone with the odd little tip in the front, which could be where the emitters are. That could be the forward moving emitter on this thing, because the only thing spinning around on this thing is the fin on the top, right? Unless we've captured the bottom spinning, and then that little tip sticking off is definitely the emitter if this whole thing's rotating.
That was my view on these craft. Is I feel like they're doing that as they're moving through the air really fast.
Like a LiDAR scanner.
Yeah, I feel like the craft is moving like turning like this, and then these jets, which they could be just one fiber optic fiber there, just emitting this. We discussed this. There's a purpose to everything, right? What do you think the purpose? Because obviously this is appearing here in this moment, but I've just shown you on the video. It appears at the front as well in some moments and behind. What do you think the purpose of this would be?
The way it looks, and we're going to look at it from a higher thinking being, right? And let's take what physics we know, let's use our applications we know. If we're sending a drone in to spy, we're going to do exactly this. And then every appendage upon our drone is going to be some kind of instrument to give us some kind of reading about whatever we're doing. I believe the bottom and the front of this craft are scanning the ground, penetrating through the ground to see what's below. That's what I'm getting from that. That's what I would think my professional opinion is. The top piece is a LiDAR. It is scanning for life forms. It's scanning the terrain. It's scanning through buildings. I believe they're looking for life. I believe they're trying to count our numbers. My opinion, this is what I would call an advanced warfare technique, where we need to know how many there are before we even think about going in there. Not indicating to anyone, don't panic. I'm not saying they're here to hurt us. They may be here to just kind of get our numbers, know exactly where the population stands, and go from there. If they're going to reveal themselves, they need to know what they're dealing with. You know, they need to know what kind of population numbers exactly they're dealing with. Maybe they're, and I hate to say this, that COVID-19 vaccine, right, that they gave us. You look at the remote viewers that remote viewed 2040, said that 75% of the population is gone. This is multiple viewers that it had to do with the vaccine from COVID that wiped out 75% of humanity by 2040. Not saying remote viewers are always correct, but it was multiple viewers that are seeing strange things from 2040 to 2060 where the population levels are below 500 million. Okay? Are these things scanning us to see how many of us are infected with this ticking time bomb? If the ticking time bomb exists. I'm just saying there's all these things we could look at. They would have advanced technologies that could do that. I think it's just a LiDAR scanner, and I think they're counting us. I really do. I think that they're trying to get exact numbers, and where do we congregate? How many people always go in these areas? And it's going to be repetitive until they get a pattern. So I think my professional opinion, right? That is a recon counting our numbers, checking out the terrain, seeing what's below. I think they're getting a reading. They might not be from here. They might have been the ones that are coming here, and they need to know what they're dealing with. Not the ones under the ground. They already know what they're dealing with, right? But there's other ones that are here, and I think they're arriving constantly. I think this is what this is. I think they're up there. They're sending their drones in. You got all these other beings coming to see what's going on here on Earth, or to liberate us from these ones under the ground. If you want to listen to all the people talk, all the experts, it's what they believe. I know they're underground. I told you that because I know. I was in the inside. I know there's underground. I know there's over 160 species we know about. So maybe it's one of the new ones coming, or maybe it's just one of the existing ones trying to figure out, what do we got here? What's the population levels? How's the planet? What's the health?
Probably
You know what I
all
mean?
of the above.
Probably.
Yeah.
But we got to look at it and quit going, oh, they're aliens. They're coming to invade. If they wanted to invade us, game would have been over a long time ago. So they're not here to invade us. Quit being so damn paranoid, everybody. All right. If they want to invade us, we can't win. So don't even fight. Just walk outside and say, I give up.
Yeah. Whatever you do, don't point your guns
Right.
at any of these things, because you just won't win.
No. Being a military guy, if I come in peace and someone pulls a weapon, I hate to do it, but someone's dropping it. It ain't me.
If someone pulls a weapon, sure, but never start off like that. Like if a craft is actually coming down to land one day, don't point your guns. Maybe point your hands out for a handshake, or
we have to get past the fact that we're afraid. We can't always be afraid of the unknown, everybody. Give yourself 2 seconds to look at the scariest shit you could ever imagine. stare at the scariest damn thing you could ever imagine, and then realize, well, it ain't that scary, so you'll be okay.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And also, just to go on the numbers thing, Dr. Shipe over in LA asked everyone really, how many do we think are in the skies, at least these recon vehicles? And I gave my guess of 25 million
Easily.
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 I think that's still not correct. I think there's probably more, but
You've got a whole planet to cover, a whole
yeah,
planet,
yeah.
and they have cloaking ability. Our pilots see them constantly,
Yeah,
but nobody wants to listen because we live in what? A world of fear.
yeah,
If we want to listen, then we have to accept. So listening to these reports means you are accepting the reality they're here. And that scares the living shit out of most people, right? We got to get past that, okay?
yeah.
We
For
have
sure.
to. Every dog doesn't bite. You can't walk around afraid of dogs. If they wanted to hurt you, we're gone. It's over. Game over. They're
For
not here to
sure,
hurt
man.
us.
For sure, man. And on that note, let's get into some more juicy evidence because we've still got plenty to go through.
Let's do it.
Uh, it's just so quick, this one, isn't it? It's just so
Yeah,
quick.
it is. Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
everyone's
That
familiar
is
with
so
these.
fast.
Yeah. So this one was captured by Chris Carncross, and this was Brisbane, Australia, and it's a nighttime one. So I've
Okay.
got the zoomed in version on the left, and on the right, I've got the non-zoomed in version. So
We're looking at that faintness right there. We go.
yeah, so at first I'm thinking plane, and then all of a sudden it stops
You got
and then
one.
moves downwards.
Yeah, no, that's two separate. That is not connected. Those are two separate spheres. They're spherical. I don't know that they're spheres yet, but they're, I'm looking at spherical objects and they are not connected.
It's fucking flying.
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to play it back with volume because we do get Chris talking on audio, and I think it's important to capture what he's saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you got audio, great.
Well, it's going down. It's shooting down. Look at it.
This is really
It's fucking
interesting.
flying.
So we got a camera blur. I see that, but I also see a crest around that thing, and that thing is moving around it like nothing. It's gone.
Yeah, it is. It is quite a.
So we got a stationary object. That must be a planet, a star, a moon, or something right there. Is that what I'm
That's
looking
what I
at?
thought. I thought maybe
Yeah.
it was a moon.
It's got like a distant star effect around the outer edge. So that's a star. Whatever that other one is not, obviously, and it's moving pretty good. It's blinking in and out like we've seen before as they open the atmospheric tunnels that they travel through. Sometimes you lose them and they pop back in like they're weaving in and out.
Sure. And on that note of on the one that we thought looked like a moon, I guess any bright light in the sky would look like that from a distance on camera. So
Yeah.
whilst that very much looks like a moon or a very bright star, we don't really know for sure.
It's hard. I'm on an iPhone 15. I didn't hook my laptop up, so I'm looking at it through my iPhone 15 Pro.
Sure.
So I've got a smaller screen.
Yeah, I mean, it is like you say, it does look very much just like a bright moon.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, like we wouldn't know unless it did move off. We wouldn't really know.
We have the blinking in the background, right? The other sphere blinking.
Yeah, the other one was stopped and then moved downwards, and then it actually went down the screen,
right,
and shot downwards, and you can hear Chris saying, "Well, it's shooting down towards the ground," So
yeah. So I do believe we have a star, but we have a UAP. I hate that word UAP. I think it's the stupidest thing. We have a UFO. I don't like calling UAPs. I'm sorry. You definitely have a UFO there. I wish we had a better perspective of it, but it's definitely something anomalous. Let's put it there.
Yeah, I don't think it was a drone or anything like that. And
no, it's anomalous. That's all.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so this one was taken from Ben, Melbourne, Australia. And it's just another one of our recon vehicles, but another close shot, and he's just filming this plane. So So
Okay.
there's a few things that zipped up there.
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah. Okay, well, now we've got an actual craft. It looks similar, mate. Go
Yes,
back to that. It looks similar to what we just saw at the drag strip.
exactly. Yeah, and this is now in Australia, right?
Right. This is, let me see. Oh, yeah, this, I mean, wow, go back. I need you to go back one frame.
One frame's going to be difficult on this player.
I know, right? Whoa, son of a gun. Yeah, it's
Okay,
moving and it's not by the plane, obviously. It's
sure.
closer to the camera. It looks the same to the drag strip thing.
hmm Yeah,
That to me is
exactly
a
the same.
similar.
Yeah, same speed. There's no point of reference because it's just in the open sky, right?
Right.
Um, but this is what the audience are capturing all the time. These are going over houses,
They're
planes,
scanning.
helicopters,
I'm telling
everywhere.
everybody now, this is a scan. They're scanning us. And I, this is uniquely being done in your section of the world, right? I haven't seen anything like that in America yet, but now Australia as well. So this gives me an indication. This is
Well,
one cool, two what similar. Whoa, what do we got here?
well, like I
And
say,
that
Robert in LA, he's been filming these same objects for 8 years.
is that
Um,
right?
yeah, with the military chasing them and all that. So LAPD's been involved.
These
Um,
are recon, bro. They're recon. They're scan. I don't
yeah,
think. I don't think there are beings in those at all. I believe that those are scan drones. They're scanning us. With
yeah,
their technology, they could duplicate everything that we got in some kind of 3D holographic map. So I'm a battlefield planner, right? Just to give you a brief synopsis. What intelligence analysts do, I'm an all source analyst, meaning I can do human signal, I can do all of it. So I used to do battlefield planning. This reminds me of battlefield planning. You got to get a map, terrain, ridges, valleys. What's the easiest way to go about? How can people leave an area if something happens? And I'm not trying to alarm anybody, Rob, but to me, this looks like battlefield scanning. Like, let's get an idea of the people and the terrain.
sure. And all we can do at this point is know that we're looking at something anomalous
It's
and
definitely that.
try and act in the most responsible and reasonable and logical way possible. And that's all you're doing. You've
That's
analyzed
it.
the situation and your mind brings you straight towards that, which is this is all they could be doing at this point, folks.
It could be, and
Um,
I don't want anybody to be alarmed. They definitely are. This is definitely has its own gravitational field. It moves in
yeah,
unconventional ways. We don't even have drones that can do what this thing just did.
no,
So it is not us. So anybody wants to say that's us, bullshit. Even our top drones that I know of, because intelligence cannot do that.
yeah,
None of them maneuvers at that speed. It's impossible. We can't do that, which tells me it has a gravitational field, meaning it just moves wherever it's designed to go. In any way at any moment.
yeah. And I've actually been using the technique of looking for these objects to verify other footage because if someone's going to create an old UFO video, there's no way they're going to include these things in the clip. And
Right.
yet, a lot of the old footage that's come out that have never really been believed, or there's not been any sort of viable evidence to say it's real, has these objects in them. The Boogosphere being another one where this object was very much interacting with that sphere, and
Yeah.
so that I hope these things can. This is why we need to film, guys, because it adds credibility if they're in the clip.
No,
And
that's the same object. That is
yeah,
the exact same object.
yeah.
Yeah, I know this object.
So that moves us on to your clip.
Yeah.
I haven't labeled this one up because you can explain it for the audience, but just tell the audience, where was this taken?
So we were in Harrison Township, Michigan for the air show at Selfridge Air National Guard Base. We're watching the air show, thousands of people I'm on the fence, so I'm a front row seat. Then in the midway where the jets are taking off, this thing popped up. Boom! Everybody in the crowd gasped. The announcer for the air show quit talking, and then I think he realized, uh-oh, we got to do something. So he started talking. The jets quit flying, and then they kind of indicated to the one to take off while the whole crowd watched this. It was about as big as a Chevy 1500 pickup truck, right? You can see little spheres flying around it. See them in the sky as it's moving, the white dots in the background?
Wasn't the first
This
one, no.
thing this thing was a long metal cylindrical tube with a bunch of those boogospheres attached to it. Everybody saw it, and then, as I tried my best to keep it in view, it zipped straight up in the air where another one of those little shining, sparkling lights was waiting. Here you go. You see it moving now. Now this thing is just like leaped up in the sky. Everybody was right? So everybody, you can hear cameras, chink, chink, chink. Then a portal opens, boom. This thing goes in a portal, and another little white sphere shows up and goes through an opposite side portal and disappears. Now, Ben Hansen and I, we've dealt with things in the past together. You know, the UFO witness guy.
Sure.
He wanted this video, but he has no show to put it on. This video is so intriguing that we actually see an opening in the sky. Then I have a friend that's a professional photographer, and I showed it to her. She's also a military helicopter pilot. And she told me that is not a lens flare, because you get the one that way and you get a secondary one where the other little white orb goes through at a completely different angle. And they just captured this in California. They thought it was a man-shaped object. I sent you photos of it today. There's a video out of California with the same exact object.
Yep.
These are how the spheres must be collected and transferred out. Look at that opening. Watch it close. Zips close. Look at that.
Oh.
You've got a portal in the sky, ladies and gentlemen, and that's how they do it. So we just witnessed a long, elongated, cylindrical metal bendable object. It was so flexible. Not a balloon. You can't fly a balloon at an air show. You can't fly a kite at an air show. You can't fly a drone at an air show. I'm on a military base filming this. Nobody's allowed in the sky. Nobody. Moments before that, the B-2 bomber flew over. Moments before that. It did a big in-circulation of the entire field, and then it went and took off wherever the hell they go, back to St. Louis or whatever, Missouri. And then that thing showed up, boom, like out of nowhere, just appeared about 30 feet off the ground, and everyone watched it.
I mean, for anyone who's been researching this, we know that they can just propel themselves off from 0 to thousands, and they can just go boom. There's no build up. There's no propulsion, visible propulsion that we can see.
They don't need it. They
Boom.
just remove the
Gone.
atmosphere and they're gone, right? We already know that. All they do is open a hole in our atmosphere and boom, they zip to wherever they're going.
Crazy stuff. So this is one of Dr. Shipe's. His channel name, Custodian File. Most of my audience know who he is, but please, if you don't, subscribe to the channel, support Robert. He's the first guy to talk about this and research it publicly. Okay?
This was like California.
Yes. This is
that where? Okay.
Marina del Rey.
Okay, yeah, it looks like California.
Yeah,
the
it's
coastline.
right on the coastline, right on the marina. And yeah, so he's been filming these choppers for, like I say, 8 years. He's had the big cargo boats coming in as they've been doing their operations. So whether that be because they were waiting for something to drop down into the ocean or not, I don't know. But they had the big destroyer out there and various other ships, you know.
Right.
This is just a clip.
One more chopper.
One of thousands.
Okay, there you go. Okay,
There it
it's
is.
checking out that
Thank you.
helicopter, huh?
Yeah, they've been doing this the whole time. I'll just play the audio as well, because Robert does.
One more chopper. We got one more chance at it.
Now, I want everybody, when you're watching this, when it disappears,
There
that
it
is
is.
cloaking.
Thank you.
So it's cloaking in and out.
Thank you.
Going
Very
in and out of
nice.
visual.
Yes, that is cloaking. It just disappears. It's almost like an optical illusion to the pilot, probably. Hey, I thought I saw something. I think that's why they do it. Mate, that's definitely scanning that helicopter. And if it's right on top of that helicopter, like it looks like it is, it's about 6 feet around.
Yeah. And Robert's managed to capture them. And I'll overlay this clip as well. He's managed to capture them where, you know, the helicopter's searching. One goes past, and then you just see immediately the helicopter turns very, very sharply because it's realized that one's just gone past.
I'm very surprised. It's not 100%, but I'm very surprised nevertheless. I thought he'd get one tag. Wow.
Xband.
Ooh. He's turning. He's turning like he saw something and the Xband kicked in. Darn it. I didn't see it. Shoot. I'm going to have to slow it down. He's flying. He sees it. I don't see it. The Xband saw it. Keep the focus.
It's got no chance, obviously. No chance of catching up to this thing. But they've been trying for 8 years, and what they're trying to do, maybe trying to point a device in the right direction in the right moment to bring them down. Maybe they've got something they can use, you know.
We do that. We do have that capability.
Yeah, I suspect that's maybe what they're trying to do, and maybe that's why the destroyer and other vessels are sometimes parked right at that marina. But like I say, for 8 years this has been going on, and it is encouraging more people to film the skies over in the US. And if it wasn't for Robert, we wouldn't have had that saucer footage from Ben in Oklahoma, you know, because he was told, film the planes, you'll capture these smaller dragons, right? And then he captures that saucer, and it does fly with two white objects, which is similar to what you captured in your clip. And for anyone that's sort of for anyone that's saying, look, that was a balloon, how would it not be a balloon?
Where at? In my clip?
Yeah.
It's impossible. It's an air show on a military. You cannot have a balloon. They can't sell balloons at the concession stand. You can't even sell those little gliders the kids throw. Nothing. If it goes in the air, it's not allowed. So that has nothing to do with humans. Nothing. That's what Ben Hansen and I were talking about. That is the best evidence ever. But he's working on the TMZ show. He doesn't have his own show going right now. He desperately wanted that video. He's got the video still. He's like, Eddie, you really got something here. I know I do. I'm at an air show. Nothing's loud in the air, and it just went boom, appeared. I'm not kidding. Everybody gasped. And then it was about 30 feet up, and it started to move. When it started to move, I grabbed my phone out, and that's when it all took place. The audio, you can hear the cameras going off in the audio all over.
Yeah, you can hear it in the audio. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we're going to get into the white ones. I call them the white ones because I didn't really know what to call them at first. And then some people, even included myself, there was 1 or 2 times where I was like, shit, this thing looks like a fairy, right? So look at that. These 2 videos I want you to look at, Eddie, they're from a chap called Tony Franklin, and he resides at East Texas Palestine Lake.
Okay. So he's at Palestine Lake in East Texas.
Yeah. I'll show you 3 videos, actually. This was the first one. Let me just pull it up and I'll share the screen.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
And it leaves like a clicking sound. It's turned up as much as I can go, but if you listen carefully as it passes.
What the hell? Well, that's an electronic disturbance. That's what that is.
Yeah. And you can see it's like a pure white energy type of craft.
Right.
At this moment.
Yeah, but we can't tell the shape. It's going so fast. It's distorting the shape of the craft. I mean, can you pause it at there? Oh, it's hard to get, I know. Okay. Take away the blur. Look at the blur at the front. You see the blur at the front? If we're looking at the left being the back and the right being the front, you see the blur around the front of the object.
Yeah. It's much more blurry here than it is here.
And we have been discussing why. The atmosphere is being removed.
From the front. Over
yes.
the craft.
It's sucking it forward. There's perfect. There it is. See? Look at the front. Atmospheric distortion. This thing, it's in the front, man. So we've got something disturbing the atmosphere and sucking it forward. It's right. This is a beautiful example of what I try to describe to people.
Yeah.
It's a vacuum effect.
So
and it's there by the blur.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad I didn't realize it was disturbing the shape of the craft, but the speed it's going at, it would be.
Yeah, you gotta remember this, Rob. So you got a gravitational field surrounding any craft. I don't care if it's a drone that they use, an orb. It disturbs your vision slightly. So it will distort what you're looking at just ever so slightly until you can kind of freeze it. And then
Sure.
you can capture it. You can actually see through the distortion the actual shape. This looks like two bright spots. So it looks like it might be divoted like this. Like if I did that, where it sticks out further and you got two brighter spots, or it's two connected spheres, or it's one elongated craft with a concave in the center. It's hard to tell, but
Yeah.
there are two high points and one dead center point that kind of recedes. So I don't know, but I can tell you from just looking at this on my phone, that is an atmospheric distortion. This thing is not man-made.
For sure. That's the conclusion I came. I mean, we don't have anything like this that moves that
No.
fast and looks like that. Yeah, it's starting to come together and make sense to me. Now, obviously, Tony's been. So let's just go back. So that clicking sound, we soon learnt that this is left on some cameras when UAP pass. Not just objects that look like this, but even when we get the clearer, black, smaller ones that we witnessed before,
Right.
sometimes they leave like a click-in sound. And Robert has managed to pin this down to an X and K band radio signal. So he has a radio detector on his setup, and for the
Well,
past,
if that's the case, that's a communication signal.
it must be right.
It is.
must be.
If it's on that band, it's communication.
X and K band. And so these smaller objects are giving it off, and we're finding if you don't have a radio detector, sometimes you can get lucky enough to hear this click bounce off the camera's audio. And that is, like I said, an electrical disturbance. And I think it is the same radio hit that we sometimes get.
All right, so intel. Let's do some intel here.
Sure.
We got an object that's disturbing the atmosphere. It's moving at a high rate of speed. It's causing an electronic distortion in the air on a band that's used for communication. We have a recon going on here.
Yeah.
Something odd. This could be a manned craft at this point. This could be far enough away to be large enough to carry a being. But we also know the beings can be this damn big now. You know what I mean? So we don't know how big it is, but beings don't have to be as big as us. We need to get our head out of that gutter right now. They can be fairies and elves and all those little mythical creatures. We're not mythical creatures, folks. They're just underground, and they're reporting them all over the world. In Russia, especially, tiny little beings. You guys are capturing those hockey pucks and those dragons with beings inside of them. Okay? We don't know how big this thing is, but definitely not man-made. It's communicating. It's disturbing the atmospheric around itself, right? It's causing electronic functioning to be different. Dude, this is not us.
No, absolutely. And I think this is it's clear. I think it's clear that it's not us. And if it is, then we've got some technology we probably shouldn't have. So yeah, I mean, moving on to the next video.
Yeah. If that's us, and they've got all kinds of shit we don't know about. And I would have known about a lot of this shit, dude. I mean, I'm telling you, I would have. I know there's above top secret, or then there's, you won't even think about it, but I'm telling you, we're not that far yet.
Yeah, I have to agree. I don't think we are. It would show in our technology now. Like, I don't think they've left us that far behind.
Right. You always want to remember technology today is 20 years behind what the government of the United States has.
Exactly. And there's not been that much advancement in terms of aerospace advancement. Not publicly, anyway.
No.
Okay, I'm going to share the next one with you. So this was taken from the same chap. Tony Franklin, East Texas, Palestine Lake. And
same guy? Okay.
Same guy, yeah. And this was around the same time that Ben in Oklahoma captured the saucer. Okay, so he's 250 miles away from this guy, and they're recording the same weeks. Yeah, so this is what makes it insane, is that they were both capturing really weird stuff.
So the common ground is water. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, potentially. And I live next to a river, right? So,
yeah, I'm telling you, I told everybody they're under the water, they're under the ground. They're not in visual sight all the time. Go ahead. Let's see this thing. Okay. What the? We got chemtrails here. Okay. This is very common with chemtrail. Anytime if a contrail, it's short and it dissipates, right? That is a chemtrail there. That's not a contrail. So for people that don't know what I'm talking about, chemical trails are called chemtrails. They spray chemicals in the air. either to get rid of certain pests in areas. They do it for vegetation purposes. This is not a contrail because a contrail is condensation that'll build up behind the craft and going at a high rate of speed through a very cold atmosphere, and it dissipates as it goes. This
Sure.
is a chemical trail. These objects are always seen by chemtrails. Always. They're trying to figure out what the chemical we're putting into our air is. I know that for a fact. Okay.
Wow.
This y'all know my background. So from now on, I'm just gonna say I know for a fact instead of saying we know the government. I know for a fact they're checking out that chemtrail.
Wow. And that would explain the Wales clip as well. You know, when we had that single one going up and it was shooting out
Yeah.
things, it was because the chemtrail was being left by the plane in the background. And we
Yes.
told Kit, film the planes. He filmed the planes. He captured that crazy stuff going on with the portals opening up and all that stuff. So the same thing was happening with Tony Franklin because that Wales clip was around the same time as this and the same time as the Oklahoma saucer, right? So
Yeah.
all of these guys are filming the skies, which is what we asked people to do. And it was just all kicking off. You know, me and Robert were in emails with each other, just going, what the hell is going on? I'm freaking out. You know, at this point, still employed, but not really working because I'm just losing my head as to what I'm witnessing, right? So,
Right. It also
this is
it
where
looks like you got a main craft
yeah,
and a bunch of spheres that were ejected to check out the chemtrail. To me, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing one main craft, which is probably an occupied craft. Then you got your smaller white spheres flying
these
around
things.
that are taking readings for the
I mean,
craft.
this is why we're saying fairies sometimes because some of these things really look like small. I mean, whatever
They
they
do. They do.
yeah,
But that's the main that's the main object here in the clip. Look at this. That's a tic tac looking shape. I've got that on my phone right now that I captured over Lake Huron, Michigan. The same shape as you paused it.
yeah. And there's a
Okay.
few. There's one hockey puck or dragon UAP
Mm-hmm.
that's
So what it looks like to me, professionally,
yeah,
something has ejected a bunch of recon to go and see what's going on here. It
yeah,
looks like they're all taking readings.
yeah. I would say
That's what it is,
that's more likely that something's just shot
bro.
these out.
That's what that is.
Yeah, there's lots of speculation. I thought maybe they just arrived because it looks like the same portals that we saw in
Down in
Wales.
the bottom, down in the bottom, look in the bottom corner at the end of the chemtrail, the very little tiny one back there.
Yeah.
Did you see it? See
Yeah,
it? Bottom of your screen.
yeah.
So they're everywhere. They're checking out the entire chemtrail. That's why they zoom by. They're going to the end of the chemtrail. Now they're following it up. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're checking out what we're putting into our air. They are curious what we're doing here.
Look at
Look
this
at that.
thing.
Yeah, I'm telling you, all the other little ones came from that one. And I bet you, if it was a craft, now you and I, we're logical beings. This is what we've been talking about. We got logic. If you and I took a craft up to observe something, we open hatches to the side like so. Now we look like we got wings because we just injected a bunch of shit to go see what this is, and then we leave the doors open until they return and we close them. That's what I see.
I mean, it's crazy because Tony was filming for weeks, just like Ben in Oklahoma was filming for weeks, just like Kit in Wales was filming for like a whole week straight, right?
Right.
And Tony captured more than just this. Like he captured saucers that were stationary, three of them.
I want to see those.
They just look like three. The thing is, he was like this, scanning the sky, and
Yeah.
he was doing it quite fast, and he didn't stop. Obviously, we caught it on camera, but there's three discs just like this, two here and one above, and they were just staring at him.
They're always above us. So
Yeah.
see, we've got radars that just simply track this shit, and it's not on the record shit. It's not like we're going to tell the public. They are constantly watching these. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
They hide under cloud cover, so they'll literally sit above a cloud and not be cloaked. And then they could form clouds. We've got them captured them. Forming clouds around themselves and then moving, flying like clouds.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Their capabilities are unmatched, but they're constantly above us. They are never not watching us.
Yeah, and for me, the radio hits.
That's it. That tells you everything right there, right? They're talking to each other.
Yeah, you can say like, it's just a cloud, or you can say it's just a bug or a bird or a plane or whatever. But then when you get the radio hits, that's when it's like, well, okay, they're not those things. You know,
Right. And then you got to start taking yourselves out of your comfort zone for all the people out there.
yeah,
Don't be comfortable wanting to believe this shit isn't real because now you're going to give yourself a major shock when it really comes down to revealing what's going on. Accept the fact you're not alone. Accept the fact you've been lied to.
yeah,
Accept the fact we're not the superior race here. And let's move on. Let's accept we're watching in front of us right now a demonstration of superior power.
yeah. And just to add, if for anyone that's like, look, this is just seed fluff in the sky, Rob, check out the two radio hits that we get coming off the audio right at the end as two white objects go past.
That's communication.
But it's right at the very end.
That's the communication, man.
Yeah.
That's wow. That is amazing. That's a great capture right there, man. That is definitely checking out the chemtrail.
Do you know what? I didn't think of that. I just thought that he just had maybe a portal opening up or he had something going on. But you start connecting the dots and they could be looking at this trail and maybe the trail has got something to do with them.
They're
Like
they're
maybe
interested
we're
in
putting the chemtrail out to detract them from something or
think about this.
you
Think
know.
about this. Think about this. We live on a planet run by rich people. They sell products to us that are not good for us. They have no interest for us to be healthy. Sick people make money. The cure doesn't make any money. They're poisoning us. And I bet you any money these beings are wondering what we're putting in our air because they know we're being poisoned. Why? I think that's what the scanning is. See how healthy we are. See what's going on here. And we live in a society where we don't need oil. We don't need all these bullshit chemicals in our food. Look at our food compared to your food, dude. You guys don't want half of our crap in your country because they're killing us. They're making us sick. My country's full of fat people. Why? Because the food is junk. They're making diabetes grow by the day. There's so many cases of diabetes, it's unbelievable, right? Normal people are borderline type 2 diabetic.
Which
This
is
is
why
impotence,
insulin is such a big
impotency.
deal, right?
Guys can't get erections. Guys are embarrassed to say in their 20s and 30s, I can't get a hard on. They are poisoning the shit out of us. And I think that's what these beings are doing. They're looking at what the hell are they doing to themselves?
That's disgraceful, man. It's disgraceful. But again, it's world dominance, isn't it? We're dealing with something here. The subject is all about top tier, end of the line, what goes on in the world and how it's run. And
I think we're at a
unbelievable.
precipice.
Yeah,
I think
it's
we're at a
unbelievable.
precipice.
And we are.
Something's got to give. Something has got to freaking give, bro. Because we are not going to survive as a species much longer at the rate we're going just to keep fat cats rich.
Yeah.
Right? We're not. And someone's got to say, enough of this crap. We can live a better way. We can live a healthier way. We don't need this. We don't need to pump a bunch of oil. We got free energy on the planet. That's what Tesla was working at. And what'd they do? They got rid of his ass, didn't they? They shut everything his down, stole all of his stuff. And now we're getting into the thing I'm telling you is an intelligence analyst.
It's like you just mentioned something and it just flows because the next topic is the Sphinx and what we're finding underneath. And it kind of links into what you think Tesla was making as well. And I want you to go through your theory now. Obviously, researchers have been doing scans of what appears to be an underground object 650 meters down or 650 meters down. You've got this big space
that's a quarter of a mile.
And you've got this cylindrical object looks like a big tube with like a spring around it, right?
That's what a capacitor looks like in electronics. You use capacitors to store energy and deliver it slowly.
Sure.
I'm telling you, as an engineer, my engineering kicked in as soon as I saw these. I haven't seen these. Then I started seeing these things that you had, the coils going around the tubes. Those are capacitors. That means they're building up energy and they're delivering it through the top of the capacitor slowly. Now, all the years I've been looking at these pyramids, and I sent you a picture of Nikola Tesla's the Wardenclyffe Tower. Do you have that picture?
If you can show it.
Okay, you show the viewers this. Nikola Tesla was the most brilliant man we in our time. I even think that he would have rivaled anybody today,
Sure.
anybody, right? So he worked for Thomas Edison, who's from my area. Thomas Edison lived right by my house where he grew up. So he worked for Thomas Edison, but he had a better way of doing electricity. He wanted to do AC current, which is better, more sustainable, and Edison wanted to do DC current. Well, Nikola Tesla worked for Edison and he was his main man, but they didn't go with Nikola's ideas. Nikola left, rejected, and started his own thing, and he went to Wardenclyffe and built the tower because he was convinced that he even put in his memos, beings from another dimension told me what to do. They told me how to harness the energy of Earth. This is his words. Beings from another dimension. So he went and built everything he did because they gave him encouragement to go in the direction he was going. So Nikola Tesla's Wardenclyffe Tower was to pull the energy of the Earth and shoot it to other towers around the planet. He was going to put up a grid that would have delivered free, sustainable energy to everybody in the area that he was in. And eventually he wanted it to go global. Now, we don't know what the pyramids are for, right? Nobody's known. There are thousands of pyramids on the earth, thousands. They can't even count them. Not one continent goes by without there being a discovered pyramid or series of pyramids on that continent. There are obelisks all over the goddamn planet. People aren't talking about this. So your pyramids are four-sided, right? I'm going to take you down a little rabbit hole because I've been doing so much research on this. And when you got these coils underneath, I realized anybody can think what they want to think or anything. I'm not saying I'm 100% accurate, but as an analyst, I told you when I got an aha, I'm usually 100% right. As soon as I saw the coils, I put it together. So pyramid shape, four sides, north, south, east, west. If you have these tubes underneath, wrapped tubes, they're capacitors. They're delivering energy to the top of the pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
The pyramids would project energy out in all directions, four directions. They're in a series, and they would feed free energy to the entire planet. I believe these are energy grids. I think they're not looking at these the right way. Now with these things underneath, we already know there's massive cities under the ground, everywhere. The whole entire under the earth, I told you, right there in the UK.
Yeah.
Right from England to France, you guys got one giant city going under there, right under the water, everything. They're everywhere. So let's look at the pyramids. We know now I got north, south, east, west. If they shoot energy in every direction and upward, you will have a delivery system of a planet that does not need fossil fuel. So the Sphinx itself and the obelisk as well. The obelisks have a pyramid shape on top because they could be just little relays to take it further and further and further. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. So I mean, the Earth is round, right?
Yes.
So they need to have certain points where they can carry, I guess, energy round the Earth.
Yes.
Because they can't go through it.
If you look at maps like you and I were doing earlier,
yeah,
it's a grid. It's an energy grid for free energy.
Yeah.
The governments don't want us to know because guess what? Rockefellers and everybody that's got money in the oil business, you're out, buddy. No more money's coming in. We can deliver free energy. The Sphinx. Nobody knows. It's old, right? It's older than the pyramids, they say. The underground cities that are underground that we know are there. The Sphinx is like a greeting hall to me. It's a doorway to get to the underworld. It's one of many on the planet. The only purpose that Sphinx would serve would be an entranceway into the underworld. And then you get under, you start building your cities, you build these freaking electronic marvels, and then you build the pyramids on top of it. All of the legends are the pyramids were built by small beings that could levitate all of the blocks. Okay, that is a lot of mythology there. People are saying they were not slaves that did this. In the precision of the cuts, why would you quarry stone so far away and move it? It makes no sense, right? Unless the stones hold property that can deliver the energy. We're not looking at this the right way. They're not tombs. The way they're set up inside, they're chambered, which is it looks like a delivery system. If I was to make it a circuit, I would want a delivery system for my electricity to go, right? We're not dealing with like blue lightning electricity. We're dealing with energy. Totally different. Everybody gets in their brain, oh, there's going to be electricity floating through the air. That's one form of energy. right? It's a more concentrated form. Energy can be dispersed in many different forms, as we see with the craft. They're surrounded by their own energy field, right? So I believe what we have, the Sphinx is a gateway to go to the underground. It is a doorway, and it will represent power and wisdom, all in the way it's designed, right? You got the power of the cat, the lion, and the wisdom of the pharaoh. So we know that power and wisdom, you come in, you go on the bottom, you're in the know. Now you have the wisdom. We're under the earth. Then you have the hieroglyphs of the light bulb, the gigantic light bulb with the little being help holding it up, the other one down on his knees, which indicates with the wire going to the pyramid creates energy. The bulb is there to display to us a brightness. They were not as primitive as we believe. This is all starting to come together now. We know we got a city. We know we got columns that are wrapped like capacitors. I'm telling you, the whole planet is an energy grid that was set up millennia ago and was silenced at the end of the last incarnation of man that failed. We are the fourth one. We can't fail. We got to get smart because we're going to eliminate ourselves. This is all here. This is all for us to see, but nobody wants to go, holy shit, it's that simple. It's that Stonehenge, what kind of stones are those? What's the purpose? I'm telling you, that's like a relay for energy. I've looked at the map and I realized we have thousands of these pyramids everywhere, right?
Yeah.
It is in a grid, it's in a grid pattern where extremely electrify the entire planet. If we're not like, you know what I mean, with energy. And if you look, it's like a band around the planet where the pyramids are. And then you got a pyramid, the dark pyramid in Alaska's real. You got one in Antarctica. Greenland's got a pyramid. No one's talking about this. These are energy grids for people to have free energy. Why did Washington, D.C. put an obelisk up? Okay, these are clues. The Masons, the Freemasons, are known to leave clues to what the world really is that they know in their knowledge. The G in their little symbol and everything, everybody says stands for God, right? But it's really the grand architect of the world. They don't look at God the way we think. It's the grand architect. We're dealing with some stuff here that is right in our face and nobody wants to see it because it sounds too easy.
Yeah. Oh, certainly does. Yeah. And it's if it's buried and it's ancient, it's so easy to keep it a mystery, right?
When Nikola Tesla died, the federal government raided his apartment the day of his death, raided it, took everything. Why would you do that? Unless you knew whatever he has in there, the world can't see it because we can't make money off of it. Nikola Tesla, I believe, was on the right path and they shut him down. We could have been a different society today had the federal government of the United States not shut him down. And all the rich people in the world that own oil and blah, 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 they don't want us to know about that.
Yeah.
As simple as it is.
They would never have been rich, put it that way.
No, and they know that'll be the end of them. If we can really just like expose the truth, they're done.
Well, I think we just did, brother. I think we just did because we can prove these things are real.
Yeah.
We can damn right prove that everyone can record them. It literally is in our hands, and if we do record them and we all wake up, then perception changes, right? And
Exactly.
we can start learning the truth and
We have to be
questioning.
willing to accept the unacceptable
Yeah,
because that's where we got you. You know, the world's been put into this bubble of unacceptance by counterintelligence. It takes a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of training to get the world to believe shit's not real. It's a lot of work.
it is.
You know what I mean? And it makes people, when they see it, they go, well, I'm not saying nothing about that. People think I'm fucking crazy. That's the whole point. We don't want you talking. Think about it, you guys. You know? God dang, I don't know. I don't know. It's easier for everybody to believe things that they just can't even prove than it is to believe things you can prove that they say is not real, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on an episode of Mrs. Brown's Boys. I swear to God.
Mrs. Brown's boy. Well, that's it. I mean, like, and for those people, just record the skies. You know, have a bit of patience, give it some time, and if you don't get lucky enough, then let us know. You know, but I guarantee you, between now and then, there'll be a lot of people that will, and have been getting lucky enough to capture something. It happens every day, and if we keep going, I think we'll eventually the hard questions will get asked, and it'll be the right people to ask them, and judgment will be served, my man. I feel like it will happen. You can't get away with this for a lifetime and have no repercussions, man. There's cause and effect. So
No, hell's coming to the front door now. They've locked the door, but hell's at the door now. So
yeah,
let's see what happens. I mean, people like you that keep pushing, if everybody just keeps on pushing, they cannot keep that door closed. We are
yeah,
stronger than them. We are. So they get all these little guys that went to Iraq and stuff and killed people and did bad things. And instead of putting them in jail, they hired them for like Blackwater and the little dark projects to go and shut people's freaking mouths when they start talking. So that's true. They take crazy soldiers like they did in Vietnam that would massacre villages. We're not going to put you in jail. We're going to use you. So you got to remember, a lot of the secret government where people are disappearing are these crazy sons of bitches that should be in prison
yeah.
working for them to shut people up. Don't let that bother you. Don't let it bother you. Go public. Let people know, hey, this is what I found. Let's all
Hmm.
talk about it, because they can't eliminate
Yeah.
you if you're public.
They can't assassinate all of us.
No,
They're not going to assassinate some random family that's out filming
right.
because they know that they can capture stuff. It just doesn't make sense.
Guys
Those
like you and me, guys like you and me piss them off.
oh
Because
yeah,
we
one
just
hundred
don't
percent.
stop.
100%. And they're trying to piss me off right now by not notifying viewers that, I've got a few people complaining, like they haven't seen my videos for a few weeks or whatever because they just didn't realize that I'd been making videos, right? And their notifications are on and all that. And I'm not sure if it's a YouTube thing or whatever, but the pushback's clearly there. Like whatever it is, it's clearly there. I give no Fs. You guys shouldn't either. Record the
No,
stops, go above them.
they come at, I told you they come at me on Facebook. Everybody knows they go. I've had so many. You go on Facebook, it's Eddie Abbott. You can't miss his bald head, right? When you look at the picture, I'm getting so many weird messenger messages, and I showed you the one. The guy definitely is a United States government employee, ex-military, trying to buddy up with me. I'm not going to take your friendship. I'm no dumbass. All
Yeah, he's
right. I get
sidetracked
a
mine
lot of
as
friend
well.
requests. I don't mind. I get a lot of friend requests from your show too. Now I've been getting a lot. People that watch your show, their
Mhm.
friend requested me on Facebook, and I do vet them. And if I see what we're in common, I'll vet them. But I do accept it. But I'm not accepting. I know what an ex-military guy is. I know what an ex-military woman is. I know.
Sure.
I just know you can't fool me.
Yeah, sure. And that's where you're switched on, mate, and that's what we need. Yeah, if you need me to clarify anyone before you accept them, just let me know, mate. I know most of the inner circle, I guess. But guys, check out the Facebook group. If you hit more now, click more, check out the Facebook group link. It's open to everyone. Just be respectful. You'll stay in the group. Obviously, if you're not, you'll just get removed. It's quite easy. But it's growing really well, and everyone in that group either is starting to record or have been recording for some time. They're starting
Right.
up YouTube channels, they're uploading. So we're going to do our
That's
best.
good.
Yeah, we're going to do our best to keep that going because the more that
Yeah.
do that, the more evidence that the scientists can use eventually to go, you know what, we need to find out how this works or what craft are in where, or maybe we can build our map like you say and
I
get
want to.
detailed. Yeah, man, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, I get
Um,
a lot of your viewers ask me questions too. I try to answer as many as I can, guys. I'll do the best I can.
Appreciate that,
So,
man. Dude, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. And we'll get again, we've got so much to cover, so we'll have you on again real soon.
okay, man. Sounds good, bud.
Cheers, bro. Take care of
All
yourself.
right. Everybody take care. We'll see you.